Disha TV. I have curated shows for children for the history of Delhi. Right now, I am with Newsmaker Media and Communications. I request our honorable speakers, Ms. Pragati Sureka and Tranu Krishnan, to please join us onto the stage. Let's welcome them with a round of applause, please. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Please have a seat. So, Pragati is the founder of Emotional Ability Resources and a seasoned Harvard-accredited clinical psychologist. Apart from her therapeutic practice, she is a speaker, trainer, and an author who advocates preventive mental health care. What an absolute delight to have you here. Tranu Krishnan is an author and a training professional over 15 years. She has trained more than 5,000 people for her UK and US employers. She trains important.
Hello. Thank you everyone for watching us today. So Ramada, that's a very nice question that you have asked me. Because people feel that mental health is just going to be there without doing anything about it. Now when we wake up in the morning, do we just step out? We don't. We believe we need to brush our teeth, right? We all brush our teeth. It doesn't matter which toothpaste, it doesn't matter which brand of toothbrush we have, but we all brush irrespective. But when it comes to mental health, we feel we don't need to do anything. So that is why a book on mental health is so important. Secondly, with children, these days we all have children who say, "Padne mein man nahi lag raha hai, मेरे को TV देखना है, phone पे रहना है," and we don't know what to do about it. How do we tell them? We just tell them, "TV मत देखो, ये करना पड़ेगा." But we never think about how it's impacting their mental health. So with a storybook on mental health, actually you can have conversations about mental health. And in this book, there are also guidance कि अपने बच्चे की self esteem आप कैसे बढ़ाओगे कि that Kareena Kapoor dialogue that we all know मैं अपनी favorite हूँ, but children don't feel like that. तो बच्चों को कैसे वो सिखाना है? These are some of the things that can be spoken about through this book.
अगर हमने सीखना है, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. I think we must read the book that Pragati has written for us. Okay, Tanu, I'm very curious. Which are your upcoming books?
So there is one sequel that I'm working upon. It's almost done though, but I'm re-going and redoing certain things. So yeah, Ted Baby sequel is up next. And I'm also working on two fictions. One is going to be, I can actually give out the name of the book. So it's going to be One-on-One with God. So that's the second book which I'm looking at. But yeah, a little way to go. But yeah, there are three things which will come up for sure.
I really wish you all the best for your upcoming
Thank
books,
you. Thank you so much.
Same question, Pragati, because अभी आपने करीना कपूर की लाइन तो हमें सिखाई दी है. Second और बाकी books जो आ रही है आपकी, what are we going to learn from them? And I think it's going to be very exciting. Tell me about it.
So actually, when I started writing about mental health, I realized this just caters to a particular age group. Beyond that, I realized, especially young adults and even people with corporate jobs or people who run their own businesses, they really struggle. A lot of times they feel, I just want to yell into my pillow. Itna gussa aata hai, we don't know what to do. Kitne disgusted ho jate hain. People look at us hatefully. So we feel कि हमेशा खुश रहना चाहिए, that joy of life and happiness, everyone talks about it, but we don't feel so joyful, we don't feel so happy, and we don't know what to do about it. So this book essentially is about understanding the power of your emotional ability, how all your emotions are important. So there are going to be short anecdotes. In fact, it's coming out by Hay House. It's going to be released in May, this year itself. And then I have another one which is coming out, which is ABCs of emotions, Like we learn A for apple, can we actually learn the ABCs of emotions? That's my next book, which is actually coming out this year.
I surely would like to read the ABCs of emotions and being, the founder of Avid Readers Club for Kids. I am definitely taking up both these books with my kids, my students in this club. So, Tanu, what are the challenges you have faced in the marketing of your book?
Romita, when I actually released this book, this was during the COVID. I think that in itself was quite a challenging phase for any author. From being offline to going online. So that was, I think, the biggest challenge that I faced. Then, of course, getting the right publisher. Looking at the kind of budget that you have, how much can you actually invest in a book? I think these three things is something which I would say to any author. I think have a plan before you actually try and go and execute it, and weigh your options. Look at online, look at offline. And today morning I was just having a casual chat with my husband, and he said, it is easier to actually market it online than actually marketing it offline. There were so many things he was saying, and so many experiences that we were talking about. So I think it has its own plus and minus, but yes, three challenges, like I said.
Thank you, Tanu. I think to each its own.
Absolutely.
Everybody has their own struggle. So, Pragati, I have so many questions to ask you, but one that comes to my mind is, how is it helpful for people to read a book on mental health and come up with preventive measures?
How it helps, it's a bit like daily bathing. In our culture, we bathe in the morning. Before we get dirty, we actually ensure that we are clean and fresh. So when we go through the day, when we have challenges, we actually have a fresh mindset to begin with. So for me, reading a book on mental health is a bit like that. We refresh our mind before we start off on a day. We actually go prepared. We've all given exams in school. We prepared before an exam. Now, of course, life throws us challenges for which we can't prepare. We still have to excel at it, right? But as students, we always believed you prepare and go. So when you prepare and go, chances are you're going to do your best. So with mental health, when you read a book on mental health, you actually learn to identify, when is it that your anxiety is just anxiety or an anxiety disorder? Now, anxious, if you think about it, if I have to go and reach school on time, I may feel anxious. If I'm driving to work, if there's a traffic jam, I'll feel anxious. But it's not a disorder because I'm able to think properly, I'm able to navigate properly, I can watch my steps. But when we know about mental health, we stop it from being a disorder. What is an anxiety disorder? Anxiety is not bad, but as a disorder, it's bad, because it is a disorder when we are not able to get out of bed because of anxiety. It's a disorder when we can't write one word, when we can't think at all. At that time, we need professional help. Again, I go back to very simple examples like going to a dentist. If there is a cavity, of course we've eaten chocolates or we've not brushed our teeth for many, many months and years, That's why we need a dentist. So once we've gone to the dentist, we're a little mindful about brushing regularly. So when it comes to mental health, if we are reading a book on mental health, what happens is chances that we will need professional help, the chances go down. At the same time, if we really need help, we learn that it's okay. Like I go to a dentist, like I seek help from a doctor, I can actually go to a qualified mental health professional who can help us manage our life.
Wonderful. I think, since we all have faced a pandemic and we need such answers, we need such preventive measures, and thanks to you that you've written this book for all of us. The book can be read not only by the parents but by children also. It's very easily written in a very easy language. I would suggest that everybody should read her book, and even Tanu.
In fact, Ramita, I was talking to the head of a business organization, a leading network, and I plan to use this book in my corporate trainings also, for leadership strategies, and actually, how do you reparent yourself? How do you work on your inner child to improve your productivity and motivation at work? And as you can see that the cover of the book is very non-threatening, and we can have lots of conversations about it. So it's actually becoming a corporate tool of management strategies also.
great. I also know that you've done workshops for MSMEs, PSUs, and MNCs, and held niche sessions for EHAC, YPO, EO, ISP, Accord, CHI, BNI, and other in recent times. There is a lot. I mean, I think I'm in love with your profile. You're doing so much, turning so many hats all together. How do you do that?
I think I have passion for people, for reading, for writing. And as all of us here, the world of language is something that we have learned to shy away from. We are very scared to express ourselves. We don't know what to do with our emotions, but emotions are always dancing in our head. So I think what makes me tick is actually a love for reading and a love for people in general.
And what about you? An author, a trainer, what else is there in your mind now?
I think this is all that I have in my mind at the moment. Like, I think
the teddy bear and the family is growing.
Yes. I think the one thing which I feel very strongly is one should have a passion beyond what you're actually trying to do. So I always say to my extended team in my office that, this is what I'm doing 9 to 6 or even 9 to 8 is my bread and butter, but my jam lies somewhere else, so that's the analogy that I give them just to explain, what passion actually makes you do.
So beyond our bread and butter, we all are following a passion, writing books to help others, to inspire children, to read the preventive measures to help into your daily life. I think we should thank these wonderful authors, and I would request you all to that we are in hall number 4 and stall number 92. If you want to get your copy signed by these authors, and if you want any interaction with them, then we all will meet you there. All right, thank you. Thank you, girls.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.